NBA got to do something about those uniforms. Man, I thought I was watching the Clippers or something. They're the Hawks.
And the Pelicans look like the Nuggets. And the Pelicans look like they're wearing the old Nuggets.
Come on, stop.
Go ahead.
Clippers, Jazz, your guy Donovan Mitchell, see.
Donovan Mitchell almost blew this game for them, taking a terrible three late in the game when they were up 4 with 12 on the shot clock. I was watching it because it's very important that the Clippers lose, and they did lose. Good win by the Jazz.
Even though we don't talk about them a lot, still a dangerous team in the West.
Mm-hmm. They are still celebrating this down in Miami. Final play of the night. Heat, Warriors, Dwayne Wade drains the clutch three at the buzzer to beat the Golden State Warriors.
Man, Miami was up 24 early in this game.
Yes.
But then all of a sudden, the Warriors chipped away. This was D-Wade's second straight three. In between those two threes was one missed Durant free throw when Durant had been spectacular. A lot of luck involved in this one, but a great moment for Flash.
Dwayne Wade made some big buckets coming down the stretch. At least 3 of them. That just happened to be the lucky.
Guys, maybe it is the hair. You didn't like it. Maybe it's the hair. Moving on to the Celtics now, who were looking to snap their 3-game losing streak. Mission not accomplished. Celtics played well, but not well enough to beat the Blazers. Damian Lillard put up 33 as Portland took this one 97-92. The Celtics have now lost 4 in a row. They've lost 6 of their last 8, and they've lost ground in the East, falling deeper down into that 5th spot. Here's Kyrie after the game.
1-2 is pretty much locked up, 1-2-3. So, just play to as long as we get there. I can't wait for this. All this other BS about regular season and keep getting better and talking over and over and over and again about what we can do to keep getting better in the regular season. I just want to be at the highest level playing. That's what I'm here for.
What's your confidence level in the team going forward?
What do you mean?
Just in terms of, you got
What question is that?
A legitimate question.
Nah.
How do you feel about this team?
Next question.
Listen, somehow, some way, Kyrie still believes in this team, or at least he's telling the media. He's still optimistic. He still thinks he can turn things around. So it's what we said we wanted to hear out of Kyrie if he was going to be the leader on this team. But how much trouble, realistically, CC, are the Celtics in?
They're in a lot of trouble. We just want him to lie. He was lying right there. That's what we want him to do. He's lying. There's no way that he left this game saying, oh, man, he just did a better interview than what he did after the Toronto game. All right, they can't fool me. I want you to lie. Yeah, man, get up to me. You got confidence in the guy? Absolutely. Because we're supposed to win this game if we give up 97 points to Portland. So it's not a matter of our defense, not a matter of us not committing to be able to help each other out. No, they're not a great offensive team now. Now, we were thinking that Boston we baked in, going to get great coaching from Brad Stevens. They're going to be a great defensive team. And they got Kyrie to be able to close out the game. We thought that was the winning formula. But right now, they're not a good offensive team, which they've experienced that before. They're not an elite defensive team. And you can tell when they start making substitutions, their pattern is not consistent, and you don't see that togetherness. You don't see, wow, man, they're really deep. You don't see Terry Rozier spring off the bench and play like when we saw him. You don't see those types of things. So the Boston Celtics, to me, are still in trouble because the reality of it, when we started the season, Nick, you had a stat 2 days ago. When the season started, Vegas had them.
The second most wins.
Second most wins.
They were the second highest projected total. It was Golden State 1, Boston 2.
So now we're talking about 20 games left in the season. They're 10 games behind Milwaukee. So, no, man, they got trouble, man. They can only get as high as the 3 seed. Now, they're probably not going to drop it lower than the 5th seed. But when you start the season, the Boston Celtics, and given they haven't had the type of injuries that other teams have had, and you're saying, man, they're 10 games back. No, this is not the type of season, nor is there anything that you're looking at from them. You say, you know something? I'm encouraged about seeing what's going to happen the next couple weeks.
Listen, they have not been an elite team all year. And now they are in their worst stretch of basketball in 3 years. The last time they lost 6 of 8 was January of 2016. The last time they had worse than a 6 of 8 streak as far as losses go was the last really bad Celtics team, the 14-15 Celtics. They've lost 4 in a row for just the second time in this new resurgent era of Celtic basketball, and lost 6 of 8 for just the second time in this resurgent era of Celtic basketball. They are who we think they are right now. Not who a lot of people thought they would be,
Right.
which is, you mentioned, C, that they're not going to fall lower than the 5th seed, and they're not, because there were supposed to only be 5 legitimate teams in the Eastern Conference. One of those teams, Indiana, had its best player rip his quad off the bone, and they're still 3 games ahead of them. I have thought, even though I have been more skeptical of the Celtics than almost anybody, of course they'll catch the Pacers. They're 3 games back of the Pacers. Like, they're as far back of the Pacers as the Lakers are of the playoffs. So the idea that they're just going to magically move above the 5 lines, Kyrie had something really interesting to say there, which is basically they brought me here for the playoffs. I'm here for the big games. I'm ready for the big games. Okay, they're going to need you desperately in those big games, because last year, as good as that Celtics playoff run was, they couldn't win on the road. Against Milwaukee, they were 0-3 on the road. Against Philadelphia, 1-1. Against the Cavs, 0-3. So they were 1-7 on the road in the playoffs last year. Right now, they're going to be on the road to start every series they play in.
And Kyrie, to me, is still just such a wannabe. Kyrie, man, wants to be LeBron so bad. That's why he said that. There at no point in Kyrie's career as he said, you know something, I'm here for the playoffs. But he knew LeBron and what they went through with the Cavs, LeBron is here for the playoffs. We don't need the 1st seed. Oh, we don't need the 2nd seed. Oh, we don't need the 3rd seed, because I'm a better player and I can overcome all those things. Kyrie has never said that. And saying that when you're just going to disregard these last 20 games, Kyrie, do you really believe in that? Because you said that, oh, don't worry about Toronto. They got smashed by Toronto. So to me, Kyrie is grabbing at stuff. That's why he called LeBron. And it's a lot of time like your kids. Because Kyrie, he's like a little brother, not a kid, because no one wants to be known as a kid. It's like your kids. When the parents are successful, those kids try to do everything they can not to follow in the footsteps of their successful parents. But ultimately, they envy that success, and they end up trying to emulate everything that you've done. And that's what I see with Kyrie, with some of the things. When he called LeBron, he's trying to find out about leadership. And Kyrie has never said that. You know, oh, I'm here for just the playoffs. That's not why they brought you to Boston, though.
The Boston Celtics, for better or worse, have lost the last 6 games that Kyrie has played in. We've got this narrative sort of brewing that Kyrie, while his numbers are great, do not help this team win. And the talk all week was that maybe the system that he's playing in doesn't work for Kyrie. Is it on the board that Kyrie changes to fit into Brad Stevens' system? Or does Danny Ainge need Brad Stevens to change his system to get his superstar to fit into that?
Well, you can't change it midstream. If they are fortunate enough for Kyrie to stay, which I think right now is overwhelmingly unlikely. But let's say he does, then yes, there needs to be a systemic change in Boston to make the best use of your best player. But I will not, I know that they are now in the year 9-2 without Kyrie Irving and 28-23 with Kyrie Irving. I cannot buy into the idea that this team is better without Kyrie, most notably because we know they have a ceiling in the postseason without Kyrie. I will buy into this notion. They'd be better if Gordon Hayward went home for the rest of the year. Those 21 minutes, Gordon, God bless him. I wish him the best. I hope next year he comes back, looks more like himself. But maybe Tatum and Brown are more the players we thought they would be this year, or a lot of people thought they would be, if those minutes are dispersed amongst them. Marcus Morris is playing the best basketball of his career. Give him a few extra minutes tonight, because Gordon Hayward has shown a few flashes like, oh, maybe no, he's not. Gordon Hayward is not right now a plus when he's on the court for you. Last night, what did he do last night? 28 minutes, 3 shots, 1 of 3 from the field. Like, Gordon Hayward's not helping you. And so this is another game where, by the way, Kyrie can say, see, I'm only worried about the playoffs. And I think what you said about the LeBron stuff's really interesting. Everyone in the East should be trying to avoid that 4-5 area.
Yes.
That 4-5 area means in the first round, you play one of the other legitimate teams, and you get Milwaukee if you get out of the first round. If you get to the 3 line, which should be the Celtics' goal, because the 1 and 2 is gone, you're getting probably Brooklyn in the first round. It would be Brooklyn or Charlotte or Detroit, one of those 3 teams in the first round. And then you might never have to play Milwaukee if Milwaukee gets upset. Like, the regular season really matters in the Eastern Conference this year. It's not last year, and it's not LeBron, which is everyone. I've beaten everyone in the East before I even take the court. Like, These last 21 games matter, and they got Houston, Golden State, Sacramento, the Lakers, and the Clippers in 5 of their next 6 games after they have Washington coming up.
The best coaches in the league, Jenna, to answer your question about Brad Stevens, they have a variety of ways they can win. I believe that Brad Stevens, when he came up and learning how to coaching at Butler, he never thought he was going to have a superstar. I'm going to have role players. I'm going to have 3-star, 2-star. I might be able to get like a Sheldon Mack. I might be able to get a Gordon Hayward, a 4-star. I might be able to, but his system does not include typically where you're going to go a 1-4. You're going to have one guy have the ball, other 4 guys go on the baseline, and this guy get a bucket. Last night, Golden State, you know what Kevin Durant did? He waved Steph Curry off, waved him off. I'm getting ready to go get a bucket. Every good coach, Pat Riley, Phil Jackson, all these coaches, Popovich, they have a system, but they have variants in the system to have a guy. And for Brad Stevens, for me to put him in the elite class that other people have put him in, hint, hint, Nick Wright and other people, you need to have a system to say, you know something? Clear it out for that guy. Right. This guy right here is going to be able to get a bucket for us because every NBA team needs that. You need to have that. I'm going to break glass in emergency. Kyrie Irving has that special gift where he can get his own shot from 28 feet to 3 feet.
And it's Brad Stevens' job not to help Kyrie do that, but to help the other 4 guys on the court when Kyrie is doing that to make the most of the possession, to be in the right spot if it collapses on Kyrie, to figure out where the best lanes are for offensive rebounds, how to get back on defense. Because Kyrie can do that if you were coaching. Doesn't matter. Everybody get out of my way. I'm going to go. It's the other 4 guys when Kyrie does that they might as well not be there. That's been their problem.
Well, Steve, it's not an emergency yet. They're awfully close to it. We'll take a break. Switch gears on the other side. Coming up, does Jason Garrett deserve an extension before the Cowboys season starts? That's next on First Things First.